Hi, today I want us to talk about ceilings. You can't build and fix your room without fixing the ceiling, and that is what I want us to talk about today. In the olden days, there were so many ways of making our ceiling. One of the most common ones was to use plywood, but there were others who used ingenious ways in making their ceilings. Some used egg crates, some used jute bags, some use crazy stuff to make their ceiling. But currently, there are three common ones that we use. So that is the plywood that we use for our ceiling, the P.O.P, and then of course the plasterboard. Now, since the plywood is the common one, I want us to look at the two major ones that are taking over now, and that is the P.O.P and of course the plasterboard. What are the difference? Someone may ask. The P.O.P is basically a P.O.P powder that is mixed with fiber to create some form of boards, and it is these boards that are eventually fixed onto the ceiling to create the design that you want. The next one is the gypsum board or the plasterboard. The gypsum board or the plasterboard are boards that have already been made from the factory. So you go, just like the way we buy the plywood, you go, you buy your gypsum board or your plasterboard. They come in, I think, 8 by 4 feet, some in various sizes. But when you bring it to the site, depending on the design you want to make, you cut them according to those designs, you fix frames, that's metal frames, and then you screw the boards onto the metal frames depending on the design you want. Now, somebody would ask, why should I go for either plasterboard or P.O.P? What are the disadvantages and advantages of each one of them? So let's start with plasterboard. The installation process for plasterboard is easy and clean, very easy as compared to P.O.P. The second one is that the quality and the consistency is very assured, simply because it's made straight from the factory. The third one would also be that you don't get to see many joints at the end of the work when you use plasterboard. The disadvantages are that the installation process is very tedious. Now, imagine you have a problem with your ceiling and you want to fix it. Because we fix plasterboard in the shape and size they come in, it would also mean that when you are taking it off, you have to take the entire thing off before you can do any works in the ceiling. Unlike P.O.P, where you can cut just a portion of it, do your fixing, and then you fix that P.O.P back. You can't do that with the plasterboard. The second thing is that it's very expensive, very, very expensive as compared to the P.O.P. And the final one would be, it does not work well with moisture. So if you have a problem with your roof, then plasterboard is not for you. If you have a problem with your roof, plasterboard is not for you. Now let's go to P.O.P. P.O.P is quite durable, and it has minimum wear and tear. It has minimum wear and tear. It is also flexible and can be molded or designed into any kind of design that you want. The third one would be that P.O.P obviously is cheaper than plasterboard. The disadvantages are that you will need skilled people and very experienced people to be able to do P.O.P. You can't just give it to anyone to do it. If you don't get someone who is good in installing P.O.P, then the person is going to do a shoddy work for you. Also, because of the way it's done, it comes in a powder form. You need to mix it with water and then mix it with the fiber and everything. There's a lot of wastage. And if you are working in an environment that you need to keep the place clean at all times, it will be difficult, because by the time you be done, there's a lot of mess that has been done around it. So if you don't want that messy environment, then you should find a way of managing that. Or you might as well just go in for plasterboard. The very last one will be that POP ceiling can only be installed when it is very, very dried. After you have molded it, it needs to take some hours, sometimes days, before it can be fully dried for you to be able to use it. If you are in a hurry to do some work and you need the thing done right now and now, then POP is not for you. It will take some hours, sometimes even days, before you can start fixing them. Now you know the difference between POP and then plasterboard, and of course the advantages and disadvantages of each. If you are planning on doing your ceiling or working on your ceilings anytime soon, and you have the information you need to choose between either POP or plasterboard. Thank you very much for making time to be with me today, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.